Boy, you know what time it is.
Welcome to the Bromigos podcast.
I need it!
Hey, how are you?
This is amazing.
Y'all ever notice the government only gets silent when one of their boys get in trouble? Yeah, we talking Epstein today. Plus, why AI might be the next baby mama you can't ignore. Welcome to the Bromigos podcast. Unauthorized, unfiltered, and definitely about to get us flagged. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bromigos podcast. It is your main man, your boy, Dank Money. What's good? What's good?
No one else wanted to go.
This be messing up the flow, man.
Nah, the flow is straight,
together.
man. The flow is straight. What up, yo?
Let's go,
What
man.
up? It's your boy Panama Red. You know what I'm saying? What's good, everyone?
Yeah. Hoochie holding it down as always.
And pump your fist if you feel me and holler if you hear me, undercover brother in the motherfucking house. And if there's one thing that is true about that statement Dante said is that terms of service, and the internet definitely hates us. So, but that's fine. I like it.
We can live with that.
Man, we got to deal with it. Yo, so let's start it off with our very first segment as we talk about the Epstein files. So the Epstein files are still sealed, but guess who's in them? Mr. President Donald Trump. Now, this has been a topic of discussion all over news, all over social media, and we're gonna break this down as best we can. But let's start with the most important person on this list, Donald J. Trump. President of the United States is on the most egregious, most famous list since I don't know the Da Vinci Code, man. I don't know, but this is this is craziness right now, man. We got the president of the United States who might be a straight up pedophile. Hunter, what you think about this, bro?
Look, the grass is green, the sky is blue. Donald Trump likes little kids. I mean, it's just no ands, ifs, or buts about it. The issue I have with it is that he's trying to play it off as if him and Epstein, they weren't boys. They never they never socialized as much as the Clintons or Obama or Biden or any of the other guys that you want to go after, but not me. I wasn't in it. That's what he said today. So I don't like how he's trying to cover it up with all this different stuff with Obama and the Russiagate, trying to deflect from it when you kind of ran on it. And I know some people in my family, they did vote for him because they wanted to get some truth and some justice out there after, the previous administration. They didn't like what was going on. But it seems like now all of a sudden they went from, yeah, we're going to release it, the files are on my desk, to, no, there's no list. No.
That's facts. Matt, seems like you have a lot to say, my friend.
Every day I look at the news and I say to myself, God damn it, it just gets worse and worse ever since he's gotten elected, man. I mean, it's either they're deflecting from it, and this is what bothers me. It's either they're deflecting from it or they lie about it. And it's like when I first saw the headline that Bodie, I believe, is the press secretary, I believe, or something along those lines.
Bondi, Boney, Boner, whatever the hell you want to call her.
Yeah, when she informed him of it, or allegedly informed him of it, I was like, oh, are we really fucking surprised?
Got you.
Yeah. Like, are we really surprised at this point? Now, I just want a clarification question just for my own reasons. Is the list specifically for the people that did the whole pedophilia part, or is it just people that visited the island generally? Like, what?
If I'm not mistaken, it's people that attended the island.
Okay, I'm just making sure about that. I also think, and I'm not trying to play devil's advocate here, it's also funny that when people bring up the Trump at Epstein and them socializing, as Hunter so eloquently said, that they're always using the same photos of that pair together. So I'm not really sure. For me, I just don't know what's true and what isn't, because I feel like sometimes I get duped by the media, admittedly so. And I just want some clarity and just this to be over with. Like, is he part of the list? Is he not part of the list? Who's in the list? Like, can we just get it over with already? People are making jokes that Maxwell, his associate's going to be pretty much coming up coming up dead any week now at this rate with all this news about the list. So who knows what's going to happen at this rate. I'm just sick and tired of hearing about it. I just want it to be over. I just want whoever is guilty to be held accountable, whether it's the president or former politicians, current politicians, entertainers. I just want it done, because I think if there was anything that Trump said years ago is that we need to drain the swamp. Well, let's be honest, the swamp also includes him at this rate. So let's just get it the 100%. Fuck over with.
I will say Trump and accountability, those two, they don't. We don't mesh well. I don't take accountability.
I know
throw
that
it everywhere.
I know that, but for Christ's sake, I just want some accountability in our government at this, and they have not been doing it the last few weeks, whether it was deflecting from the issue entirely.
Last few weeks.
Or
when is the last
He's
time?
never taken accountability.
When is the last time the
Well, I
government...
meant in this specific situation. I'm not talking generally. I'm talking this specific situation when they were like, oh, the list never existed. Well, we all know the fucking list existed. We've been talking about it for like 3 years now. Like now there's no list, and now it's like,
we've got the list. The list is on the desk.
See,
there was no list.
Then it's the Obama thing
made the list.
Yeah, Obama
Biden
made the list. Obama
Clinton
was colluding with Russia now because the list, my name is on the list, and everybody's talking about it. So it's a fucking mess. I'm tired. I'm tired. I am fucking tired.
I agree too. I'll add a couple things here because he said today that you should ask about Clinton, Bill Clinton. He visited the island 28 times. I was never on the island. That's bullshit. Also, Maxwell, she's met with the Department of Justice a couple of times privately, and Trump has publicly said, I could give her a pardon, but I haven't thought about that yet.
Of course he has.
First of all, aren't they trying to make a deal anyway? I thought I read something along those lines that they're trying to make a deal.
That's what the meetings are for. I don't know if that's to try and clear up Trump out of this whole situation, but something to keep an eye on for the next week or so.
My whole thing is this, right? The fact that he's trying to deny any association with, Epstein, it's crazy because not on top of the visual evidence that we've had and all the other. Did you know that this man Epstein attended Donald Trump's wedding in '93? Do we know this? See,
I did not.
Now
that's news to me.
Now check this out. My whole thing is, right, what kind of potheads hang out with potheads, athletes hang out with athletes, drinkers hang out with drinkers. You gonna tell me you used to think that this guy was a good dude and all of a sudden he's a creep? What kind of creeps go to your wedding, bro? How many times? Who associates themselves with people that carry on in this kind of activity? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think you could ask some of Diddy's friends the same thing.
That's the thing,
he's
right?
not wrong.
So no, of course, and that's the same. But we're not talking about Diddy right now. We're talking about the president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing with the whole, well, there are Democrats that have probably gone there too. Well, duh, nigga, what you think? Like, there's corruption on both sides of the aisles. Like, wow.
You know what I find funny? You know what I find funny is that when Donald Trump was first running for president, now maybe I wasn't paying attention deep enough because I was only 15 at the time. But remember when Obama was running for president and everybody was trying to make it a big thing that he might not be American because he has African descent, right? His dad is directly from Africa. That's where he's born and raised, where he's from.
Or that he's a Muslim.
Yeah,
right.
That was another thing I remember.
Or that because he's from Hawaii, he might not actually be an American citizen. And Donald Trump was one of the main people who were out there saying, hey, we should check his birth certificate. We don't know if he's American, dropping all these tweets and everything. And that was like one of the main things that people were trying to hold against Barack Obama while he was running for president. But I find it very funny that is so important. But when it comes to somebody that is possibly a pedophile, you're going to tell me that all of a sudden in 2018 or 2019 is when people finally found out, hey, this guy has been hanging out with this person that we have.
No, people known this since the 90s, bro. They've been talking about this.
The
thing is, no one paid attention.
And that's my thing. it wasn't put out in mainstream media to a point where it's a talking point while this man was running for president, and people could question his character. People can question his values and his morals, right? You have everybody that were questioning the character and values and morals of Barack Obama while he was running for president. They were questioning the values and character and morals of Hillary Clinton while she was running for president. But Donald Trump, it seems like, because he is a billionaire, because he has so much money and all these connections to powerful people, that when he is actually in office and there are these questions that are coming his way, it can be openly talked about, but really nothing is ever going to happen to him because of the powerful connections that he has. And it's a damn shame, but that is one of the biggest problems in politics in the United States, where you can have so much power that you can get away with things that the everyday person
Well,
or
who
other
has gotten away? Who's gotten
power
away
can't.
with things like this, bro? Who's gotten away with things like this?
What do you
I
mean
mean,
specifically?
I mean, when Clinton, with the whole Clinton and what the fuck was her name again, Monica Lewinsky ordeal happened. Clinton was God damn, I'm losing my vocabulary today. What the hell? He was not subpoenaed. What the fuck am I talking about?
Indicted?
No, not indicted.
Oh, no,
What they did to
He
the
was also
president.
impeached.
That's
He
what
was
I'm
impeached.
saying. Clinton was
Yeah, he was
impeached for that,
impeached.
right? And found not
Was.
innocent not guilty by a bipartisan, committee. My whole thing is, right, we've all know Trump has said so himself that he just likes to kiss women and grab them by the vagina. He said this, his words, right? He's been called a like he's been involved in SA, and they laughed about it. He's been interviewed and he's joked about these kind of things. He's a well-known partier and involved with women and prostitution and all this. You're gonna tell me where there's smoke, there's fire, bro. Like, 1+1 is 2, people. Like, it's not even a matter of disliking the guy at this point. It's just a matter of this is who we're believing to lead our country. And I think us as Americans, I don't care about how you feel about Biden. I don't care about how you feel about Obama or Clinton. This is something next level. We're talking about allegations of pedophilia involved in all of this. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about y'all, but I just wouldn't want my name surrounded with molesting or involved with children sexually. Like, I would want that cleared up, period.
Yeah. I mean, listen, long story short, if you got a private island and you got a private log, you ain't innocent, dog. You just ain't innocent. That's just facts. That's just facts. Moving on, there's a movement. There's a movement going on social media, and everybody has been part of it. Everybody has seen it. It is the artificial intelligence movement, also known as AI. This is something people are using to create fake videos and pictures of your favorite athletes and your favorite musicians and people all over the world, and creating these, these funny scenarios. Some of them a little racist, some of them a little homophobic, but at the end of the day, it's all in good fun. But specifically when it comes to sports, there is a new thing that's going on where there is AI generated officiating. And the question I want to bring up is AI officiating more efficient than a human being the official of a sporting event? And how do you guys think that this new AI movement is going to affect sports moving forward? Matt, let's start with you.
I am a very I'm a very loud proponent of robo umps in baseball because I feel like the human umps are just have gotten worse and worse as years go on in the sport. And I know some of us aren't big baseball people, but when you watch a game and you just become irrationally angry because they give you the tools to see like where the strike zone is and what's what, and the refs still don't abide by it, it becomes frustrating as a fan to watch. You have artificial intelligence worry about it. The issue might be a little less complicated. Or let's take me and Mike's sport that we enjoy. Well, definitely Mike's for more of a lifelong duration, but football or soccer. I mean, Mike, how many times have you become so angry with a VAR decision? Whereas maybe AI could have helped prevent that error or that bias that's being put on your team or another team. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, VAR is a flawed system, right? Because it involves, yeah, they're giving you the technology to see everything, but it involves human error, and that's the whole problem right there to begin with, is the human aspect of it, right? Remove the human aspect of it, and allows there's no bias, there's no what ifs, there's no questions. It's clear as day. Like in this case, the ball's offside. It's a handball. Like I'll tell you a moment of outrage, right? The Euros last year, when Cucurella, he's from Spain. He plays for Chelsea. He was playing against Germany. Clear as day handball. Clear as day, right? But the refs, even after VAR, say no handball. What? Of course, Germany lost that match, and Spain went on to win the whole entire thing. And it was just like, bro, that one call changed the whole outcome of the game, essentially. So I am a big advocate. I love AI personally. I think AI can be a helpful tool. It's also very dangerous. We should be wary of it to an extent. But I think it can be a very useful tool. It all depends on who's using it and how you're using it.
I mean, and football is another big sport to add into that as well, because officiating, or ref ball as it's being called now, has been a really big problem in the sport for quite some time. So I feel like AI might help alleviate that issue a little bit, whether it comes to penalties or plays that are either out of bounds or something, whatever issue might be happening in the play. So many calls have been, or so many games, I should say, have been determined by awful referee calls in football in the last few years, that it's becoming, I don't blame football fans, and by football I mean NFL, when they say they think the sport is becoming rigged, because there are times where it's becoming clear as day that they want a specific team to win by a certain call that's being made, especially in the last 2 minutes of the game. I mean, honestly, I think you can make argument of the Kansas City Chiefs kind of winning games by the skin of their teeth when they really weren't a great team to begin with this year. They were fine, they were good, but they definitely were not what I would call a Super Bowl worthy team to make it that far.
Well, not last season, but
no, not last season at all. But somehow they were like 11-2 for a while.
Mm-hmm. I hate to burst your bubble with the NFL and their AI technologies. It's not for the refs just yet. So
fuck.
So they have this team on the sideline called the Chain Gang, where they're on the sidelines. They measure the first down marker. Like they'll go at the first down marker 10 yards from where the down begins, and then another chain or another pylon, whatever, where the football is on the field. So whenever it's like third and short or fourth and short, they're starting to use now AI technology where they can actually measure to the exact dot or the exact point of where the football is and how close it is to the first down marker, rather than just putting the football down on the field and then Gene Steratore measuring with a paper note or a card or whatever. So they don't have to do that anymore. But baseball, they're starting to get into it more. It's called robo-umps. So they actually did this in the All-Star game a couple weeks ago, and they've been testing this for years now in the minor league system, and they might be implementing it next season. So pretty much if a batter wants to challenge a call, they just do this. They tap their head, and then in 15 or 20 seconds, they'll pull it up on the jumbo screen, and then the technology from where the pitch goes, whether it's in the strike zone or out, if that pitch is called a ball, and then the strike system has it as a strike, then the call is reversed. So that I do think will help baseball a lot. But yeah, I don't think for NFL, I don't think it'll be getting rid of the refs as a whole, and I don't think it'll be getting rid of the umps as a whole in baseball, because you still need that human aspect for it. And let me tell you, if AI gets a brain,
Hunter,
and they start to manipulate themselves a little bit in the NFL to where they're big Pat Mahomes fan, it's over. It's over.
Listen,
you might as well just put a force field around them, because no one's going to be able to touch them.
Yeah, I think my opinion on all this is that I think there's beauty in there's definitely beauty in the human aspect of officiating in all the sports, right? If you were to add AI refereeing into the game of basketball would be so boring because of the amount of rules that the most talented athletes in the history of the game are able to do, right? You're going to cut down on amazing game-winning plays and, you know, these spectacular dunks and moves through AI. If there was AI reffing, let's say 20 years ago, 20, 25 years ago, Allen Iverson wouldn't be who Allen Iverson is, right? If there was AI reffing Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, these guys wouldn't be who they are because they do take advantage of the rules and twist them to a point that makes them so great. And that's just part of the game. That's that human error, that human aspect in professional sports is so important, right? If you think about all of the amazing plays that have happened in the history of sports, imagine if you implemented AI into those important moments in history, right? Let's say the Immaculate Reception, right? One of the greatest catches in the history of the NFL, one of the greatest plays and memorable plays in the history of sports. If there was AI, and this is the 70s, obviously, but we're just speaking hypothetically, if there was AI implemented in that play, who's going to the Super Bowl, right? You probably got Oakland going to the Super Bowl. History has changed. We aren't talking about the Steelers the way we are today, right?
Good.
You have an amazing play.
What?
All right.
No. It's nothing against the Steelers. And I don't mean the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad
Yeah, I
at me.
know.
My whole point is fair is fair, bro. That's what I mean with human error. Like,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. But
I don't give a fuck about that history and legacy bullshit. I want to see the game called properly. That's
I
it.
understand that. I understand that. But you know what, man? If you look at it, and I'm just going to speak basketball specifically because that's my
MJ
main sport.
pushed off. AI would have called that.
MJ,
AI would have called it a push off.
Oh no!
MJ pushed off. He would have.
If you still think that MJ pushed off in '98, you have no idea what you're talking about. And I am getting to an argument about that with you.
First of
But
all,
all I'm gonna say is this:
I don't care, sir.
No, I'm just saying in general. But when I think about basketball, man, is specifically when it comes down to officiating, right? Everybody has to be rep differently. They have to. Because that's
the thing. That's the thing, right? AI removes all of that, right? All these superstar calls that you get.
Game.
No,
think about it this way. Can I offer you? Can I offer you like?
Yes.
I want to offer you
this nonsense,
right? No. It's no nonsense, right? Okay. Let's think about an athlete like Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
Right.
No, that's a good point.
If you add AI into how Shaquille O'Neal played, he might have fouled out more games than he actually did in his career. Now, you have to think about who Shaquille O'Neal is as an athlete. In his prime with the Los Angeles Lakers, at most, I believe he was 375 at 7'1", 7'2", could jump and run out the gym. Now, you put somebody on him that might be 6'8", 280, trying to defend him. Physically, there is a difference there. Now, if you got Shaq backing somebody down, turning with the elbow, dunking on them, right? With the AI, he might get a foul call, but why is his strength and his physicality being held against him just because an AI-generated referee is going to make a call like that? When it comes to human error or when it comes to actual human officiating, you have to differentiate like, hey, sometimes, this dude just got overpowered by Shaq. And then there are certain instances, well, hey, the defender had the position. Shaq used his power to his advantage and took advantage of the situation. So we have to call a foul on him. When it comes to a sport like that specifically, everybody has to be officiated differently because at the same time, you also got to think about it also from just an entertainment standpoint, right? All of these leagues are meant for entertainment. Basketball more than anything. I think football and baseball, the rules have changed in order to make the game a little bit more entertaining, but I still think both of those sports are pure at heart.
It's
Basketball
still an unfair disadvantage to players who aren't as big as Shaq, who aren't as strong as Shaq, who aren't a superstar like Shaq. The game has changed. The game of basketball changed, and players have had to adjust to the rules and all these different rule changes. Why not make the adjustment then? That's my thing. I believe in fair is fair, period. right? Fair is fair, period. So if we're going to implement these new all players, regardless of size, maybe Shaq would have kept his big ass in shape and probably been better longer. Maybe if he was, I'm just saying, if AI was implemented then and Shaq was getting called for these brute force plays that he would do, right? Maybe, just maybe, he would have went back to like, Orlando Shaq and played that game and been different and been in shape and probably been the greatest player we've ever seen. But we'll never know. You know what I'm saying? That's why I disagree. Although I can appreciate what you're saying, right? I just disagree.
And you know what? I'm not saying you're wrong either, because I think you make a really good point. Sports should be officiated fairly. I mean, as somebody who is a high school basketball coach and a former AAU coach, I have, been in situations where, sometimes you'll be playing a game and you might be playing against a team that is far more talented than you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the other team might have, like, I've been in a situation, prime example, when like 2 years ago when I first started coaching at Rutgers Prep, we played a team called St. Rose. At the time, St. Rose was one of the top 2 teams in the state. They had the best player in the state at the time, and we played against them. Games are ref differently. I ain't gonna lie. Games are ref differently. When we play against teams that we are far more talented than, games are ref differently. Why? Because sometimes refs will feel bad for the other team, so they're going to give them calls that we might not get. Why? Just because we're better. And then it happens in reverse as well, because sometimes when you play against teams that aren't good and you are the team that isn't the better squad out of the two, you will get cheated out of a lot of plays and calls, because why am I going to make this call that is 5'8" guard against this 6'4" Division I prospect? I'm not going to make that call because this team's already going to lose. So why would I make that call and keep the game going further than it does? So when it comes to that, I definitely think that AI could be a important tool used in officiating, but it cannot be the end all be all, because I do think it will destroy the purity of sports. Because at the end of the day, refs make decisions. Sometimes refs are telling the truth. Sometimes refs be lying.
Yes.
And you know who else be lying? Women be lying. Women be lying.
I was about to say, don't let women get their hands on AI, otherwise they're going to become master manipulators.
You know what I'm
Even
saying?
more
Oh,
masterful
man.
than they already are.
They already
You know
are.
what I'm
They don't
saying?
need a guy, man. They're already the best at lying.
Listen, dog. Let's talk about the lies that they tell.
boy.
The I'm fine, or he's just a friend, or
He's like a brother.
my favorite, exactly. He's like a brother to me. We're basically siblings,
Don't give me that. You're busted.
You know what I'm saying?
If you and him are like brothers, why does his bit smell like incest?
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
No, I was thinking it, but I didn't say
bullshit.
it. 100.
I think
Sweet home Alabama.
I think I'll start off on this one. And I'm gonna play both sides. End of the day, men lie, women lie, everybody lies. I'm not gonna sit here and cap about that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Of course.
I think women lie because they want to protect themselves. I think a lot of times women are about them, and not in a selfish manner, in a self-respect manner. They're about themselves. They're all about themselves. They care about how they look. They care about how people view them. They care about how they're portrayed out in public and in private. So a lot of times, I think when women lie, they want to protect their innocence. They want to protect their self-respect. And they want to protect who they are as people, who they think they are as people. And when it comes to men and women in terms of relationships, I think it's a lot easier for women to lie in situations because there are a lot of men who will accept those lies and they will be comfortable with what their woman says because they are so deep in lust with some of these people. I think people that are in love can see through lies, and I think people that are in love care more about what that person is feeling on the inside rather than what they say on the outside within the moment of the current situation. I'm not even speaking off personal experience, but you know what? Fuck it, I can.
Oh no.
No, this ain't even crazy. I have been in the situation where I've dealt with, oh, he's just a friend. Oh, we just going to hang out at the movies. So I'll tell a story. I was dating somebody in high school that we had a extremely rocky on and off relationship for about 2.5 years. It was terrible. It was bad. It lasted from my junior year all the way to the pandemic. And when I think about that, there was a time when I went to school to go on a visit, and she had told me that she was going to hang out with a friend of hers who also was more of a friend to me than she was to him. And she was like, "Oh, we're just going out to the movies." And I'm like, "All right, cool, blah, blah, blah. That's fine." So after that happened, I asked her, like, how was the movie and everything? She said, "We had a great time, blah, blah, blah. It was cool. It was a good movie, whatever." Then months later, I'm sitting in the car with him, and he slips out and said, "Hey, so-and-so, yo, she gives some fire dome." And I'm like, "Hey, you right?" And I'm like,
Wait a sec. Hold the fuck on a minute.
wait a minute. Something ain't right. Hold up.
You be peeking through my window?
So I go, wait a second. Hold on. What you know about that? What you know about going downtown, bro? What you know about that? What you know about going downtown? So he tells me, he's like, "Hey, one time we was at the movies, and she gave me the extended version." I was like, wow.
That bitch.
You know what I'm saying? A 3D movie without the glasses is crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And at the time, she had told me, "Oh, he's just a friend." Then when I ended up calling her out about it, the crazy thing is she ended up admitting it, which I thought was crazy. I didn't think she'd ever do that because she would always lie to my face. And when you get in a situation like that, bro, for men specifically, I think a lot of us need to learn how to protect our peace. And we also have to learn how to know who is right for us, but also who is going to give us the best chance to continue to be ourselves while growing with that person that you're with. Right. Okay, you know what I'm saying? If somebody is going to be in a relationship with you, right, you have to have the wherewithal to know who you are as a person, know who they are as a person, and be able to trust that they're going to be that person at all times, right? People change, circumstances change, and you have to be able to adapt to those things. But if you're going to constantly lie to each other and not be honest with your partner and talk to them about what's going on, how they actually feeling, what's going on the inside, not the outside, then it becomes very difficult to have a successful relationship that isn't always based on, damn, we got to figure something out. This ain't working right now. And I think a lot of people go through that stuff, and it's a self-realization. So you have to be honest with yourself and know that that person is going to be their true self at all times, but you can't allow that person to take advantage of your niceness or take advantage of who you are just to benefit themselves. And that's the realest I could get about that, man.
I want to add to the fact that I feel like I agree with what Dante said, but at the same time, I feel like everybody has to put on a mask at this, like, for who they are for the other person. Not necessarily like deeper into a relationship, but especially when you're trying to, I guess, court that person. Like, you have to put on a facade in order for this person to like you. And I feel like over time, they'll understand who you truly are. I've been guilty of that at times. I know people who are guilty of that. I just feel like everybody has to lie at some point to get what they want. But at the same time, the truth will eventually come out, and then you'll determine if you're right for that person or not.
Right.
Or in that woman's case, was it actually worth it? Was it worth lying? Because at the end of the day, liars are bitches. Yeah. I mean, I've said it before on this podcast, but I'll just give a quick rundown of it. This happened to me back in high school, junior year. Was friends with this chick, or became friends with this chick. She had a boyfriend. We already knew that. The boyfriend was abusive. She couldn't get out of the relationship. Months and months go on, and then it's like, oh, she's single. She cut things off with him. Didn't want to put up with the bullshit no more. All right, cool. I was like, really like her.
Hunter
I don't
says,
want to push
"Slip
the envelope too
inside,
soon. I wanted
slip
to. I wanted to.
inside."
I didn't want to push it too soon because I thought, give it some time, let her recover. And then she's all walking lovey-dovey, holding hands with this other dude in the hall. I'm like, huh?
That was quick.
Yeah. And she's like, oh no, he's just a friend.
High
I'm like,
school, I tell you.
well, what the fuck does this mean? If you're holding hands, what the fuck does that mean if you're just a friend? I'm friends with my bros. I'll hold hands with them.
You
What's
said
up with that?
he's just a friend.
So
You say he's just
I
a
eventually,
friend.
I don't know what to do.
baby,
I'm in this
you.
situation where I've never been in this situation before. So one night I just pour out my feelings to her, and then she's like, yeah, I don't think we're really gonna do anything like her and the other guy. And she's like, well, I'm just gonna stay single for a while, see, and then find myself. Okay, cool. And then
Find herself.
few weeks
Few
go by, she's just posting herself with him over here, over there, everywhere, and then she's like, yeah, I caught feelings for him. I'm like, you bitch.
You know
And
what?
then it
You know
turned
what?
into this whole ordeal where I called her out on social media, on Instagram.
Oh, why
that did not work out.
That was
that
crazy.
did not work out for me.
Hunter, Christ
you're better
almighty.
than
I
So-
mean, cut the man some slack. He was in high school, bro. We've all done some dumb shit.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
yeah.
you know,
He's
you know,
right.
Looking back on it, it was done. But I'll say this: the boyfriend caught wind of it, and he wanted to fight me. So I was like, all right,
Oh, I would have
I'm
gave him
prepared for it.
hands.
Because we,
Yeah.
like I said, this was back in high school. At
Yeah.
certain points of the day, I'd walk past him in the hall. I'm like, okay, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I'm just gonna have to take it and own it and fight back and see what happens. Motherfucker didn't do shit to me. He just
Yeah,
walked
did
right
all
past
that
me like
yapping.
nothing happened. Fucking motherfucker. And you know what? Best part about it, that little fling she had with that boy or whatever didn't even last 2 months.
Mm.
So I'm
High
like,
school
was it
love,
worth
man.
it? Was it worth it? Exactly what she got. Up the fucking pooper, bitch. Fuck you.
there's something going on.
I love
with-
when,
Hey,
I
yo,
love when Hunter
wait a
gets angry
minute.
about women.
There's something going on in relationships these days, man. There's something going on in relationships these days. And not to get touchy feely, not to get, go overboard. But when it comes to relationships these days, a lot of people just don't know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even talking about me. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I need. I know exactly who I need. But there are too many people that are online looking for relationships or looking for something, but one, they don't know who they are, and two, they don't know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get a better understanding of, you have to put yourself in the position as a young man or woman, especially at this day and age, if you're going to get into a relationship where you know exactly what you want out of that relationship and you know what you want to get out of it. Stop getting into relationships just because you find a person attractive. Stop getting into relationships just because you think somebody got a big butt or they got big titties, or you found out that, hey, I don't know, maybe they the best in bed. That shit don't last.
Mm-hmm.
That shit don't last, man. What does last is true human communication and true human connection. Now, when you get past the connection and the communication, then the hard stuff kicks in. Then you got to care about what that other person cares about, or at least show some interest to show that you actually care about that person. Then you have to start spending time with that person, and spending time with that person that doesn't involve sex, doesn't involve any sort of fellatio, actually enjoy spending quality time with you, wants to be in close proximity with you, right? Can that person challenge you mentally? Can they challenge you physically? Can they make you a better person? Because I'm a firm believer that if you're not helping your partner grow and be better than who they think they can be, then you shouldn't be in that relationship anyways. If you look at some of the longest lasting relationships, longest lasting marriages, and it could be your parents, it could be people you know, other family members, they have issues.
Mm-hmm.
They have issues, but they find ways to work through them amicably because they care and love about each other so much, but they're also selfless enough to put the other person first and find out how to work with them. You got to work with people in relationships. You have to. And this is coming from years of being in uncertain relationships. This is years of being in situations.
That's what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for.
This is nothing. I haven't had this thought process all my life. This comes from experience.
No, but hold on. I didn't want to interrupt you because what
bro.
you just said is what I was going to stop you and say, right? You said people don't know what they want. A lot of young people don't know what they want. In order to find out what you want, you have to go through trial and error and experience, right? Not everyone, I went to a high school. A lot of people that met their high school sweetheart and they ended up getting married. You know what I'm saying? Got a few people like that. And that's nice and that's good, But being real about it, that don't work for everyone. Some people need to go bop themselves in the head a few times and make a couple poor decisions in order to figure this thing, this thing called life and it's that thing called love, right? It's not as simple as, our parents have told us a lot of things. Our elders have told us a lot of things over the years about life and love. As a child, you're told, hey, don't touch the stove, you're going to get burnt, right? And you don't listen. And hey, don't touch the stove, you're going to get burnt. Fucking touch the stove, your dumb ass got burnt. Now you know that shit's hot. I shouldn't do that stupid shit. And it's just one of those things about life. Like, I spent a lot of my time making poor decisions, even to a point where I knew better, right? I could tell someone and give someone else the advice on what they should and shouldn't do. But for some reason, I always wanted to mess with that floozy down the street or that floozy down the hall or the floozy that I saw at the fucking, I watched my father make poor mistakes. I watched my moms make poor judgment. You know what I'm saying? And still, in spite of having it right in my face, still decided that, you know what, I'm still going to walk down that path. I'm hard-headed, and some people are just like that. To your point, it would be a lot easier if we could just listen and save ourselves the heartache and the headache of making these bad decisions, right? But unfortunately, we are all not wise enough because, you don't know shit when you're young. We're not wise enough to know that, like, hey, you know what? I shouldn't do this because I'll be real. I'm 40 years old, man. There's a lot of decisions in my life. Fuck off, nigga. There's a lot of decisions in my life that I made that I wish I didn't make, right? However, had I not made those decisions, I would maybe I would have had less heartache and headache, right? But I wouldn't be as wise because there's something you learn from everything, right? And all the wisdom and knowledge that I've gained through all my life experience, and I don't just mean in relationships, because people, I don't think that people don't know what they want. I think a lot of people, because life is a learning process, we sometimes settle for what's put right in front of us versus, we know what we want. Like, I've always known what I've wanted, and I've settled many a times in my life because I just wanted someone there, or like I didn't always like messing around, and sometimes I just wanted a thing to get booed up with and do my thing, and that led to dealing with some people that I perhaps shouldn't have dealt with. You know what I'm saying? But it's all things that you learn through experience. It's unfortunate. Heartache, heartbreak's a motherfucking, man. I say love is the most wonderful, fucked up thing in the world, man. It takes you to the highest of highs and to the lowest of lows. But there's nothing more beautiful like it. I think the only thing more beautiful than love, I mean, there is nothing, because childbirth, watching a kid born, you love that kid. Like, I think that's the only thing that's the love in its purest form is the love that you have for a child. I think the only thing you can almost compare to, like, if y'all have pets, like a dog or some shit, like, that's close, right? But even so, you can't compare it to nothing. But I think people just also lie because they lack an emotional maturity. I used to be a coward, yo. I used to not be afraid. I used to not be able to tell women that I didn't want to fuck with them. Like, in high school, I knew this chick, and she was into me, man. She was real into me, and I couldn't deal with the tears, like of watching somebody cry in front of me because I'm hurting them emotionally. So I told the chick that I had cheated on her. I didn't cheat on her, but it was the only way that I could get her to leave me alone, because I didn't have emotional maturity to be like, hey, I don't like you like that.
Mike, I'm so glad that you said that, because I think over time in my young adulthood, I have always had an issue with sometimes being honest emotionally with my significant others. In my most recent relationship, no, but it's something I had developed over time because I think I've always fell into the trap of I never wanted to make my partner or the person that I am dating at the time feel bad or feel hurt. But sometimes, men specifically, you have to be more honest with your partner than you want to be because I think a lot of guys hold in a lot of feelings because sometimes it may come out as pure anger or anguish, right? But it's really not. It's just your true feelings, but it's just how you articulate them. And sometimes you have to pick and choose how you articulate those feelings. A lot of times, man, sometimes you just got to be honest with yourself.
Sometimes
And it doesn't always have
wrong,
to be.
man.
You should always be, man. And and it doesn't always have to be relationship wise. And sometimes even when you're in relationships, it doesn't have to be an issue that is within the relationship itself. But sometimes you might be going through something's going on, and you've got to be honest and mature enough to talk about those things. You got to be vulnerable about those things. And yesterday, 2 days ago, I learned about something called learned helplessness. And I think a lot of people in my generation in particular deal with that. It's when you come across some negative circumstances that might be uncomfortable throughout your lifetime and everything's going on. And you tend to carry those situations into other relationships and other friendships and other situations that you end up coming into. And you feel like there could be no positivity out of it, even when there is positivity. And I think a lot of people deal with that. You carry over
those relationships too.
Yeah, man, it does. And it's a damn shame, but that's part of it. So, emotional maturity is so important. I think everybody needs to develop a space for themselves in order to create that in whatever manner that it is in terms of importance for them and their emotional well-being. And, it has to be there. It has to be there. All right, let's move on because
who's worried about their emotional well-being right now?
Who is that?
Carnival.
Oh,
like the circus, like the one with
Carnival.
the elephants and the guys.
Carnival Cruises, my guy.
Wait, you mean Negro Circus?
Yeah.
Oh,
Negro Circus.
That's not what I was referring to at all.
It's Jim Crow Cruise Lines now.
What are you talking about?
Because oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on. I feel like I should have had pulled this up. So, but let's talk about.
I'll say I haven't heard anything about this.
No, you haven't, because I've seen, as people, as everyone that's listening, Pan, I'm gonna like to scroll on TikTok, late at night, do my TikTok scrolling.
40-year-old man on TikTok.
It's my vice, man. Late at night when the baby's sleeping and the wife's tucked away. Hey, man, I'll be on TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather
Don't
this be
judge me.
advice than anything else negative.
I'd rather be run. What you want to do? Run the streets? You know what I'm saying? No, let me be at home on TikTok.
Hey, man, Brian running the fast break at 40, so you can run the streets at 40. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm good. No,
you know what I'm saying?
POP, hold me down. No, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen a lot of videos of the Carnival Cruises are now, empty pretty much because a lot of melanin folk aren't there, and I hear, I read the comments. The comments are always racist as fuck. Like, I can't stand racist shit now, but I do agree with some of the comments because niggas don't know how to act. Okay. Now I'm one of those black folk that, like, if I'm out on vacation, I would like my peace and vacation and I want to enjoy the shit. Okay. Do I want to see some rowdy darkies? I don't want to see rowdy anybody acting a fool. Okay? Rowdy darkies. Let me just correct that because my fault, because I immediately went to attack the darkies.
God damn.
What? What's wrong?
Short circuiting.
Shit. You would call them niggas?
Better you saying it than me.
What you want me to call them? They rowdy darkies, bro. My brother, like, what you want me to say? But nah, I don't want to see rowdy people, period. Like, I don't like going anywhere anyway and seeing one thing of too much of one demographic. That shit makes me nervous, right? I don't like that shit. So, nah, I do not like it. I don't go. Like, I remember in college going to a party at Rutgers, and then next thing you know, the guns are bang bang. Where Felicia at? Nope. See, this is why I don't fuck with too many darkies. Look at this shit. You know what I'm saying? Nope. You go to the white parties, too many white people. Cops coming because there are drugs in the house. God damn it. Who brought the cocaine?
Fucking
man,
Kyle,
I
get
have
the coke
always
out of here,
said-
man.
I have always said I have never, ever, ever in my life felt more black than when I go to LBI.
Yeah.
When I go to LBI,
that's a good
I might
point.
be the only one
Oh,
on
what
the
are you
island.
doing down in LBI?
Say
are you
what?
doing down there? What are you doing in LBI? The fuck?
Mike,
White people
Mike,
parties.
Do you feel like you're a part of the Get Out movie?
White people that have beach houses and yachts. I don't know which one to tell you. You know, sometimes I go down there and do as the white people do. You know.
Well, that's cool, but fuck all that. That's too much. I got white friends. Okay, I'm gonna be that. You know how like white people like to say I got black friends. I got white friends. Okay, I got Spanish friends. I got black friends. I got friends of all. I don't like going anywhere where there's like this. One of my boys used to drink. He liked dive bars, right? And he took me to the spot in Manville, and I was like,
Wait. The one by Quick Check on the corner.
yes. Yes.
They're under new management. They've been closed for like 8 months, bro.
Yeah.
North side.
Yes, it's north side.
North side.
Listen, I'm not wearing cowboy boots, man. I feel out of place here, bro. You know,
Bro, hobos hang out on those steps, bro. They've been hanging out there since I was
so
forward, bro.
my whole thing, okay, but let me not stray too far. I don't find the rules to be racist, right? And anyone who's thinking that they're racist, maybe you're the problem, okay? Because rules are to be followed, right? To a point, because there are some ridiculous rules. Can somebody pull up these rules, man? So we could
I
have
have
a
a
look
few
at
of them that are up here. Give me 1 second.
Shoot them off.
So now keep in mind, I want to mention that according to Carnival, some of these rules have been in place forever, and that now people are just now starting to understand it.
Wait,
curfew,
is one of the rules no Crisco allowed on the ship? Curious.
I cannot confirm or deny. That said,
Might guess me.
it took me seconds till I got this.
All right, go ahead.
No, passengers under 18 must leave public areas by 1 a.m. or less under supervision.
I don't see no problem. Under 18, I don't see a problem with that.
I don't see a problem with that. No Bluetooth speakers in public areas.
I don't see a problem with that. Niggas got a problem with that.
This one's a little weird. Restricted handheld fans to ban the ban on quote unquote clack fans or handheld fans due to safety concerns. That one's a little confusing to me because it's just like, don't y'all want to stay cool?
Wait, are those clack fans? Hold on. Are those fans that you kind of whip out like? Right.
I think so. I'm not sure. I've seen people have handheld fans, but I don't know if that's the one.
I think they're
electric
talking about
fans.
electric ones. Yeah, that's what I think.
Hey, whoever's listening to this, feel free to clarify in the comments. So if they're saying like the electric fans, I got no problem with that. If they're saying the clap fans, the little things that they whip out, like what I'm saying, like they doing the line dance and shit that you see everywhere now. Everybody whipping that shit. That might be a little racist. that one might be a little Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying?
I can understand the electric fans though, because the worst thing that can happen at sea is an electric fire.
Yo! Imagine if all the old ladies from church walked up with their church fans on the.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen. As somebody who grew up in the church when I was young, them fans loud as hell.
Oh Lord!
Hell.
Why
Matt,
is it so hot on the boat?
I have a
Matt
question.
ain't never been to church talking about some oh Lord.
Anybody here on the show been on a cruise before?
No.
I have
Okay, so let Dante offer his expertise. Listen, I have been on 2 cruises before. They've both been Disney cruises. I think every single cruise has a different experience. They have different things you can do on the cruise. A cruise experience is what you make it. So for the people that go on a cruise that want to act ignorant and want to act like they ain't got no sense, I blame you. I ain't gonna blame all black people. I'm just gonna blame you. Now you can blame it on black people that never been nowhere. They ain't got no common sense. But cruises as trips are truly what you make it. Now I've been on 2 Disney cruises before. I've done everything and anything under the sun. They have teen clubs on there. They have kids clubs. They have places where the babies can go. You can go see a Broadway show if you wanted to for free. You can go see any Disney movie possible. If you want to go on a water slide, you want to go to the arcade, you want to go to a comedy show, you want to go to a bar, a new restaurant, get a massage, go to the gym, play basketball. You can do whatever you want on a cruise. But
Yeah.
I do think that depending on the cruise line that you go, there are certain restrictions that are on there that are supposed to attain to the entertainment value of that cruise and the experience. But at the same time, you have to choose the right cruise for you and your family. Carnival Cruises, I think, are more so for the younger generation, more of like a party type cruise, where you can go out and have some fun. I know sometimes they invite major DJs on those cruises, have parties and other things like that. Disney ain't like that. Disney is very family oriented. You can still walk around and see the characters.
Yeah,
you can take pictures
it's
with princesses.
Disney, nigga. What the fuck?
But the thing is, though, is that with that experience, you also have to know what you're walking into. I
You're
think
walking to a family experience. It's Disney.
right, but you're walking into a family experience. But then when you go on a carnival, what are you expecting? Right? When you go on Norwegian, it's a complete Norwegian is kind of a combination. You
Yeah.
get the family aspect as well as you might have that, let's have a fun girls week or boys week type vacation.
I mean, they're
Everything-
called Carnival Cruises.
Yeah,
You
but
expect a good time, but
that's just the
real,
name.
real quick before Matt go, because I could see it in his eyes that he want to go.
Yeah, Matt wants to speak.
Because, and I'm gonna say this, man. Hey, white folk, I'm tired of like getting blanketed against niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because we always say when you talk to black people, there's black people and then there's niggas, right?
That part.
Are all white people serial killers who incest and fuck their cousins and all that other weird shit? No, right? Y'all all don't eat mayonnaise sandwiches, right? You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop blanketing everyone. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop blanketing. Y'all need to stop being lazy and just point to black people are this way and black people are that way, because that's just foul, bro. That's just foul. Like, I'm tired of it. I got to go into. I know niggas are fucking retarded. They've got white people that are retarded too. Like, we just focus more on the retarded shit that black people do, and it's exhausting to have to go in the comments of some shit or talk to your friends and hear the foolishness about, we're not all like that. Like, why do I have to defend? Use your fucking common sense, bro. Like, it's exhausting.
I'm really glad you mentioned that, because that was the route I was going to take next, and I was thinking about putting this in my line of topics, but I didn't know if this was going to be out of pocket for a white person to say.
Watch yourself now. Watch yourself.
I know. But the whole thing I wanted to bring up was the idea of, the quote unquote YNs, and how those YNs kind of ruin the perception of black people as a whole. And I feel like this is kind of an example of that to some degree. Correct me if I'm wrong or if you think I'm wrong, but I feel like those.
No,
I don't get the correlation. Yeah.
I think YNs in particular have tarnished the reputation of all black people of recent. They have.
But that's what I'm talking about. How is it, right? How is it that we have billionaire people on fucking lists, right, that associated with pedophilia? How does that not destroy the perception of all white people, but a couple of fucking ignorance, young niggas? They destroy the perception of all black people.
It's simple. And it's as simple as this. Racism is still prevalent in our country. White people get judged as individuals. Black people get judged as a group.
Yep.
And they will tell us that we can't talk about it. They'll tell us, "Oh, you're playing the victim card." They'll tell us that, "Oh, you got to get over slavery. It happened so many years ago." But then at the same time, we're still talking about black people that are the first to do this and the first to do that.
I'm so tired of that. It sucks.
It sucks. But
We don't.
It's a damn shame.
Why do we keep getting participation trophies, bro?
You're right, and that's the thing, and that's the thing. And the crazy thing is that most of the time, it's not even black people that do those things. You know, think about the amount of praise that some white people get for certain inventions and everything, and it becomes, you know, big world news. Like when Mark Zuckerberg came out with Facebook, it was like this generational social media platform that everybody was on. Mark Zuckerberg is one of the smartest people of all time, and he's a billionaire. He's doing all these things. He's changing lives. He's connecting people, blah, 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 blah. But then it's like 30, 40, 50, 60 years later, we find out that there's a black person who was the first person to do this. First person to do that, but it was never mainstream news or talked about at that time, right? If you look at the inventions, and I mean the most important inventions that are still prevalent today in our society that were invented by black people, some people are just finding out about it now. The traffic light. If you want to talk about the GPS system, you want to talk about home security, you want to talk about the super soaker, you want to talk about home video game systems. You know, I could go down the list.
Wasn't the slip and slide one of those too? Or
say that again? I'm sorry.
Wasn't the slip and slide one of those too?
I don't know.
But it's like similar realm.
I do know some things that are made by Whammo were invented by black people, but it's like all of those things are, some of them are very important inventions that have lasted through time. I mean, look at what video games are now today. You wouldn't have that without black people. You wouldn't have ADT and all these, you know, ultra technological, you know, security home security systems without a black person. You wouldn't have the safety on the street driving on your car without a black person. You know, some people wouldn't have the certain hair products that they have today in order to relax their hair or change it and have different textures if it weren't for a black woman, right? But a lot of that stuff is ostracized and none of it is actually publicized by mainstream media at the given time which those inventions came out. And then we find out about them 50, 60, 70, 80 years later. And then it's like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I never knew. How come that is less important than somebody who came with a social media platform or somebody who invented some, you know, some app that might last for about 2-3 years and they go on to another business venture?
But you know what they will put on blast, right? If Jerome go and shoots Jaquel, they'll put that shit on blast.
Or
Shaquita popping her ass on the music video.
Or if LeBron James beats the all-time NBA scoring list, oh my God, this is amazing. But LeBron James speaks out about politics and social policies. Oh, whoa! No,
shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
Shut up and dribble.
Or, hear me out. If your daughter, who is white, is dating a black man, and then you may or may not say some things on a tape that might be released, say about 10 years ago. And 10 years later, you are now dead. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. We all know Hulk Hogan's looking up at us, and
I don't give a fuck. Fuck that nigga.
It's hot down here, brother.
Damn about Hulk Hogan, bro.
Racism media is still running wild, brother. Let me tell you what.
I think we've gotten to a lot of like good information this episode, and I want to close it off. I know we're talking about some hot topics and everything, but I know some of you guys might not have seen the show or whatever, but the death of Malcolm Jamal Warner hits home for me specifically because what he's done over his career, but what he meant to the black family and black television in general. I don't care what your opinion of Bill Cosby is, but the Cosby Show, in my opinion, is the most important black sitcom, one of the top 5 most important TV shows in the history of television. Yes. And what Theo, the character Theo Huxtable, meant to African Americans, if you watched him over the 6 seasons, 5-6 seasons, whatever it was of the Cosby Show, you saw him grow. He is, to me, an inspiration to a lot of young African Americans, and he's definitely inspiration to me because his journey was kind of like mine. He didn't apply himself as much in high school, and he had a lot of other interests and things that he wanted to venture into, but then eventually he found out that he needed to get into education, and he went and got his college degree. And, you know, he came from 2 successful parents, one who was a doctor, one who was a lawyer. And the character Theo Huxtable and the real person, Malcolm Jamal Warner, has been such an inspiration to African Americans over the past 40 years. I think that man deserves his flowers. It's a damn shame that he went home the way that he did. But when you look at television over the decades, over the years, these TV shows define time. They define eras. These characters define who people in real life truly are. They look up to them. These parasocial relationships that we as the viewers develop to these TV shows are so vital to our character building. And some people don't even notice how much we take away from the information in the shows that we watch as we grow older and as we are adults as well. They develop who we are on the inside because we take a lot from, you know, those media entities. And I think there are a lot of characters and there are a lot of people that we need to start giving their flowers to, because to be honest with you, you never know when people are going to go. You really never know. And it's
except for Hulk Hogan, he can burn the hell.
Yeah. Screw him.
I mean, Hulk Hogan's influence in wrestling is
forever.
Like, yeah, right. But Hulk Hogan's influence in wrestling is one thing. Him as the I can separate the two. Was like, even though he's a notorious liar when it comes to
wasn't there supposed to be some like business agreement that didn't go through because of Hulk Hogan? Something like that. Correct me. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, so I don't know a whole bunch about it.
Which one? After all, the 6 words that are synonymous with Hulk Hogan's career is "that don't work for me, brother." So
Or that
it could have been letters. It could have been anything. It could have been anything that phrase goes with.
Mm.
Then
we got to treat it like Cosby, because then it's like the legacy of Hulk Hogan and the legacy of the Bill Cosby show. Then we got to separate the two.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm good with that.
On top of, at least that's how I think of it. I also want to say rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, as very influential in the world of music and metal and making Christians mad since the 70s. So shout out him.
He went out doing what he loved. He was performing a couple weeks ago in his final concert.
That man should have died 50 times over. Ozzy Osbourne, when I was in middle school, was a fucking meme before memes were memes.
Stubborn motherfucker, ain't he?
He was a stubborn motherfucker. God bless him. But anyway.
But a musical genius, man. Matt, take us to church, brother. Take us to church.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you guys for showing up today. And thank you to everyone listening to the show. You can follow us on a multitude of different podcasts. Thank you. I'm just thanking you guys for being here, man. Okay. Means nothing more than that. Nothing. Not everything I do has an underlying cryptic meaning, okay?
Hey, you never know, brother. Oh,
especially with you white folks, you never know. Niggas was on time today. Niggas was on time.
Yeah, the black people were on time, but Hunter, you was late. That's not. Come on, man.
Niggas drink their Kool-Aid early.
Not WPT, man.
They come on the show eating fried chicken, Dante.
Time is like 15, 20 minutes early. You got to be better. You got to be better.
Anyway, if you want to follow us on our podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, a whole bunch of them are on there. You can check us out and subscribe and leave comments if the opportunity is available for you. Follow us on Twitter @BroMigosPod, Instagram and TikTok, The Bromigos Podcast. Same thing on Facebook. Search up The Bromigos Podcast. And, of course, the YouTube. Check us out on there. Search up The Bromigos Podcast. And I don't know when the videos are going to be popping out yet, Mike, but I know we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's in the works. We're
Mike, y'all niggas never listen.
Yeah,
listen, you were the one in charge of it.
Hey, don't worry. We're gonna have it done. We're gonna have it done. But ladies and gentlemen, if you got offended, good. Yep. That means you were listening. This was the Bro Migos podcast. Now, how'd your Wi-Fi before we take over again? Peace.
You've been listening to the Bro Migos podcast.
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll beat her! That's okay! She'll be back. Another